Welcome to the first in a succession of video game reviews to be undertaken by Mr. Snuggleduck. I sincerely hope you enjoy them. F.E.A.R is under the microscope this week, chosen for its excessive hype generation and spawning of a direct sequel and 2 expansions. After much deliberation with a light wallet, I decided to participate in the shooter that was all the rage. F.E.A.R begins strongly, hitting the ground running in a spectacular opening scene, depicting a sinister little girl demanding the slaughter of everyone. You're informed that the prisoner whom she released had already begun massacring members of a military technology corporation, and is assisted by a battalion of cloned super soldiers under his psychic command. At this point, the player is revealed to be part of a team that specializes with paranormal threats known as First Encounter Assault Recon, and it is his duty to assassinate the commander, Paxton Fettel. You're finally given control of your silent protagonist and pushed through a tutorial level, ending with a flogging to the noggin by Fettel. Following a particularly nasty encounter with a mysterious little girl, which ends with your squad having their bodies dissolved, you quickly become aware that you'll be going solo from now on. Action sequences of F.E.A.R finally initiate about 20 minutes in, pitting you against squads of super soldiers. Of note here is the player's ability to manipulate time using his reflexes, described as being off the charts. This element, known as reflex time, is extremely similar to bullet time used in Max Payne, and recharges rapidly. Paying homage to the Matrix, the mechanic is used magnificently, displaying bullet trails, making for comical kills, and showing off F.E.A.R's lovely particle count. Reflex time is absolutely crucial for survival against the impressive artificial intelligence on offer. These clones aren't your retarded friends from Star Wars. They actually use tactics such as flanking, taking cover, throwing grenades, providing suppressing fire, and navigating obstacles. Once in a while, they'll surprise you by moving to your back before you're able to notice them, and won't follow you around without having someone to support them. They're a far cry from your typical FPS foes, which literally dance in the middle of the field, waving a "shoot me" sign. Combat is particularly exciting and is what makes this game really shine. You're given an easy to follow heads-up display, which doesn't clutter the screen, which allows you to lug around 3 weapons of any type at one time. All weapons in F.E.A.R are quite different from one another, and depend entirely upon the situation for their effectiveness, meaning that the pistol is still a great weapon in endgame. Further to this, your dexterous character can perform a number of devastating melee moves that quickly dispose of your enemies. Grenades are also added and come in 3 flavors, which require only a key to operate and can make all the difference. As the title suggests, F.E.A.R places that component directly into the game, integrating Japanese horror-styled scenes between combat to make for a pleasant flow. You'll encounter these events as they can frighten you unexpectedly, incorporating some frightening play when proceeding through the game at 3 AM. They're also very well placed, as they reveal more about the story behind Fettel and his bizarre female helper. Sound is central to these settings, providing some thrilling ambient noises that will make your heart beat heavily. Level design was unfortunately a major letdown for me. Traditionally, I enjoy corridor-based shooters like Doom and Half-Life because there was a lot of variety to each stage. In F.E.A.R, it seems like they're using the same tile set for about 3 chapters, and then changing to give a sense of alteration. However, you'll spend most of your time moving around similar rooms and environments, including one where objects are even in the exact same location on desks. Moreover, objectives are fairly disappointing, generally involving you pushing a button to progress through a door, allowing you to easily advance even without thinking. Finally, I found myself in a state of shock when I encountered a red-colored ladder opposed to a usual yellow ladder found throughout the game, which cemented that feeling of uniformity. Another annoying factor to mention is the ease of F.E.A.R, due to the litter of medkits and armor vests lying around. You'll be able to use reflex time to mostly avoid damage, but on occasion you'll take a few rounds. However, this isn't a problem because you can use medkits to instantly restore health and find another one right nearby. After I had received my 10th medkit to reach the limit, it stayed there for most of the game on the normal difficulty level. This wouldn't be so much of a problem if there were less of them lying around, and if the cap was significantly less. Despite admittedly being over-pessimistic about those points, there were many positives in F.E.A.R to outweigh those. I loved the graphical interpretation, mainly because of the particle effects, and also the fact that it didn't tax on my PC that much. Reflex time and combat were also highlights, with a lot of pleasure derived from killing the same enemy over and over, using awesome weapons on offer, and watching them respond to my actions. The horror themes were terrific because they negate much of the cheap startling that's becoming all too common. Negative aspects such as level design, challenge, and some fairly standard characterization shouldn't be frowned upon too much, because the aforementioned virtually factors it out. Although it wasn't a revolutionary FPS, I think that F.E.A.R still brought something unique to the table. It's got a brilliant combination of horror and action in a slightly futuristic setting, so this week I'm going to give it 90%. It's short and sweet, definitely worth the money. If you wanted the PC version, you might want to grab the gold edition, because, oh, look at this, it's got a nice flipping cover. It's got Extraction Point on it, which is a really nice expansion. I'll have to review that separately. But if you want another port, you might want to try the Xbox 360 version, because the PS3 has some goddamn awful loading issues.
Oh, perfect. You again. See this button? I wonder what this does.